My name is Dr. Martin Grimm, and I am the Director of Student Activities Management for Prince William County Public Schools.
I'm Ashley Osborne. I'm the Coordinator of Sports Medicine for Prince William County in Virginia. My job is to coordinate care of all student athletes, as well as really anything up to date that needs to be given to our athletic trainers to keep our kids safe.
Prince William County is the second largest school division in Virginia, 34th largest in the country. Just under 100,000 students, very wide and diverse geographic area. The scope of my role is I cover obviously athletics and activities for both Virginia High School League, academic activities, and clubs and school-sponsored and non-school sponsored clubs. Athletics for middle school and high school. And where it's important here for the periweather piece though is the sports medicine program. Co-supervise and evaluate all of the athletic trainers along with the directors of student activities. Right walking into the job in August, my concerns were how are we making weather decisions, whether to practice or what level of practice we could do.
Weather is a large component for us to keep our athletes safe. Inside and outside, we have to make sure that we keep our outside athletes as safe as we can. Lightning is a big factor, and then heat stress or any type of heat, and then cold as well. We try and modulate and regulate.
The other issue that our athletic trainers talked about was, and our principals as well, is lightning. We have a lot of lightning here in Northern Virginia. Sometimes that lightning is real close and sometimes it's real far away, but depending on your elevation and where you're standing, you don't know what it is. Everybody was using different apps on their phones, and there was disagreements, and at the end of the day we wanted to make sure that we were safe and we were staying inside those 10-mile guidelines. So the periweather system kind of was the best of all worlds. We were able to look at and make decisions on practice conditions and playing conditions, when we can start, when we needed to go inside, and we had all of the lightning detection that we needed. But the other piece of it is being able to have that countdown, be able to see where the strike is. Now we have it right there. It pops up. Everybody can look at it, the timer starts to count down, everybody can get to their cars, they can start to plan on what their next steps are. It just makes it just so clear and obvious. And we had a situation just because of the elevation of the school and the storm that was going on, the sky was just being lit up. But that storm was 40 miles away. But it looked like if you were just looking, see it, flee it, you'd see it, flee it, we would have had to empty the whole stadium. So that's a situation where I hadn't thought about moving into or going into this is how can we continue to play in cases where in the past we may not have continued to play. So you have that 10-mile radius, we have all the alerts set, and then everybody can get on that phone and they can say, yep, there's a strike. We got 30 minutes, 25, bam, lightning, now we're back to 30.
Anytime an athletic trainer kind of comes over and says, hey, I got lightning, everybody pulls out their phones immediately and checks their favorite app, whichever one it may be. There's always that comparison. There's always the argument that mine says 10.2 or mine says 9.6 or whatever it might be. Now with periweather, we're able to just use 10. And it sounds at 10, you can't really ignore it. There is no turning your back to lightning. There is no one more kick. There is no more one more quarter. There is, come on, we're winning. The sound has gone and you have to go inside. It also helps with fans because they understand what's happening almost immediately, as we do as well. There's not a sit in the stands, wait for people, wait for the announcements. It's all one thing. And it kind of removes the stress on the game time administrators, the athletic trainers, and the coaches, because everybody's on the same page. And then also the clearing sound is really nice too, because you don't have to send all your millions of text messages or on the radio or various other ways to communicate. It's just now we're cleared, now you can return, and it takes away any of the stress on the athletic trainer, which is important. We get our guidelines from NFHS and the NATA and the VHSL. These are all three of our, I'm not going to use the word governing bodies, but they do help direct us in the best case and best care for our student athletes. And it used to be we would hold our wet bulb unit and it would stand out in the middle of the field. You would hold it up. Everyone would be like, what is that person doing? They look a little crazy. And then you would have a number, and then you would have to compare the number to the chart. And then the chart would be, you'd have to send the email, and it's a lot. So now our coaches all have the widget and or access to full scope. Our DSAs also have access to the full profile, and our athletic trainers do as well. And I regulate the policies at the central office, so there's no changing it per school. But what happens is that they're able to get the same message. So if a football coach is interested in coming into practice, but they know it's going to be hot that day and they think they can change some stuff around, they don't have to wait for the AT to be like, hey, we're black. They can say, hey, it looks like it's going to be, and they know it's coming down the pipeline so they can plan. It makes everyone a lot happier. And it keeps our kids safer because we don't have to go outside let them get overly exhausted and then come back inside. We just know we can plan better, which is our biggest thing. I've been doing this for 13 years, and almost always, regardless of level, at the youth level, at the collegiate level, and then at the high school level where I've worked, it is always a fight. And it's not, the coaches are not being mean, the DSAs are not being short, it's just, it's hard because it's unpredictable, and the ATs are always the ones that come out. I had a band director refer to me as the Grim Reaper, because whenever I would show up, they knew they had to go inside. But now it doesn't have to be so. Now I can show up and they go, oh, hey. And I go, you know what the phone says, let's go inside. And it just makes our lives a little bit less stressful, and it makes everyone a little bit friendlier around us. So it's really nice that we're just not the bad guys so much anymore regarding weather. But it's just nice and perfect.
It really has just taken the guesswork. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but it's kind of taken the guesswork out of it.